Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mike Colleen at MikeColleen.com. So today's video is going to be kind of a random video. There's not really one subject I want to talk about. Just a couple of things that I really wanted to put out there. So first of all, life is not fair. And the sooner you realize that, the better you're going to do in life. So the moment you begin to realize, like, wait, life isn't fair, you have to make it fair. Meaning you have to make your dreams, your happiness, your goals, etc. You have to make them happen. You have to find a way. You have to look for options. You have to create options. So it's really not a matter of being fair or not. We all come into this life with different spiritual lessons, learnings, and experiences. Now here's another thing. We all come into this world with completely different purposes and different things to heal and different things to learn from. So you can't look at another person and go, well, why is it they always get money, or why is it they always have it the easy way? It's because they're not here for your purpose. Like, okay, for example, let's say you joined the Navy SEALs or the Army Rangers. Like, it's going to be tough, okay? You joined it. You wanted to go through it. So don't complain when you go to the grocery store and this cashier is complaining because someone gave him a dirty look, when all day long your drill sergeants or sergeants, etc., have been cussing at you, calling you names, telling you you're weak, and you got to bust ass, and there's no comparison. That person, for whatever reason, didn't decide to challenge themselves. They didn't decide to grow, to become stronger, to deal with adversity, to become better, to become more powerful. So I'm really saying this to empower you, because a lot of you have been through some really, really harsh things in life, and it has been absolutely unfair. So a lot of you, based on your comments and based on the phone conversations we've had and the sessions we've done, etc., for sure, you came here because you wanted to step into your power. You wanted to relearn and remember what it's like to be powerful. So you set your destiny on a perilous and challenging journey. And I don't think it was you just wanted power. I think a lot of you that are here, you wanted to be complete. And here's what I mean. You wanted to have both strength and power combined with a nurturing, compassionate energy. So on a video, I think it was the video just before this one, I talked about going to the dentist and how it was such an amazing experience. It was all women, the two girls at the front desk, the two assistants, and then the two doctors. And there might have been another doctor or another assistant, but it was all women. But the thing about it was the lady doctors, the dentists, were strong, but they were also so nurturing and compassionate. So I walked out of there with this amazing sense of being taken care of, and yet at the same time treated very well. So the balance, for sure, was a level of strength and kindness and nurturing combined. And that, I realized, is my whole goal and why I'm learning how to balance myself out, how to be emotionally grounded. Because I'm a very strong guy. When people first meet me, they're very intimidated, even though I'm very soft. So I had to learn that just because people get intimidated by me, it doesn't mean I have to be weak. And that's what I used to do. I used to let people walk all over me. So people that would be intimidated, they kind of get, especially narcissists, they get kind of huffy and puffy and, well, he's not better than me. And I'm sitting here going, I never said I was better than you. I'm just waiting for my sandwich. Like, what's going on, man? So the ability to learn how to hold space, be internal and emotionally grounded, it's a combination of both of best worlds, and that allows people to themselves feel this sense of groundedness and feeling solid, and at the same time feeling open, spacious, and free. Now, some people, they really don't give a shit about that. Because that's not part of their journey. That is not why they're here. They're here for a completely different experience. They're here for something else, and that's okay. Okay, now, another thing that a lot of you guys have got to learn and you have got to realize. Now, in the beginning, when you hear it a dozen times or 100 times for 5, 10, 15 years, you're like, oh, that's not possible. You have got to see people for who they are in the moment. The challenge with most people on this channel is they are empaths, and we it's a very strong trait of us to always, listen, like literally, always see the good in people. And that has got us into a lot of trouble. We've gotten hurt really bad because of it. Okay, so I'm going to kind of cut to the chase. If someone is telling you to always look for the good in people, it's not good advice, because it causes you to only look for the good in people and not to see both the good and the bad. And this can put you in a very, very dangerous situation. And this is why so many empaths end up with narcissists. We were trained and conditioned to always see the good in people. So if someone is using those words like always look for the good in people or just look for the good in people, that word just literally means to only. And when you say always, it causes your unconscious mind to always look for good, which means you're not looking for the bad. So I'm kind of wondering how many of you had this belief and or were literally taught this and heard this multiple times in your lives. Alright, so I can't remember the thing in the Bible that people quote and they misquote, but I do. Okay, here's something a lot of people have been through. So I picked up that my mom would always say, like, okay, right now she passed away a few years ago, but if I were to go visit my mom today, let's say, I would bet you right now, I would bet you $10,000. Now, I literally used to bet my friends $20. I say, hey man, when you meet my mom, I'm telling you, within 20 or 30 minutes, she's going to tell you, she's going to stop and look you in the eye and slow things down. She's going to say with a voice like this, you've just always got to look for the good in people. You've always got to see the good in people, no matter how bad they are. Now, she would literally do this. She would say, there's always good in people. If you look hard enough, you're going to find it. Side note, if you have to look that hard to find good in someone, they're probably a really, really bad person and you need to get away from them right away. Now, she'd even quote two very famous people. She would say, even Adolf Hitler has good in him. Even Charlie Manson has good in him. You just have to keep looking until you find it. Now, my mom's been saying this to me and my brothers and sisters since we were little children. And I mean little children. Even when TV shows, like, say Friday Night We're All Home, watching some movie or TV or whatever, and some horrible monster came out. Oh, well, everyone's got good in them. You've always got to look for the good in them. Now, my friends, because I pre-warned them, now, if I wouldn't pre-warn them, it was the same thing that I went through for decades. It's like, wow, your mother is like the nicest person in the world. So what it does, it sets it up to where even your friends, when she does something horrendous or anyone like this, they just see her as this wonderful, good person. Now here's the thing, she'll do it over and over and over. She won't do it just once. Every time you come over, she'll do this every single time. Let me tell you what happened to me. At a high school dance, some guy that I'd never met from the opposing school stabbed me in the leg while I was with my girlfriend. Now, I didn't see him. He came up from behind. It was dark. It was a high school dance. And someone the next morning said, so-and-so did it from Napa High. I'm like, who's that? I'm like, he goes, and I go, why'd he do it? And he goes, because he doesn't like you. I'm like, why? He goes, well, because you're the captain of the football team. I'm like, what? So eventually one day, I don't remember how it happened. It might have been another dance, but I ended up bumping into the guy. And someone goes, yeah, that's that guy right there. I was like, oh, so I walked over and he was scared. I could tell, and I gave him a hug. That's how brainwashed I was, naive I was. Someone could literally stab me, and I wouldn't think there was anything wrong with it, because all I could see is, oh, it must be a good person. So here's the thing. If someone is telling you to always look for, or just look for the good in people, they're probably a narcissist, and they probably want you to only see the good in them while they hurt you. So get away from that person. So I figured it out. I think it was a friend of mine that said, dude, that's like the most worst advice you could ever get. I'm like, what are you talking about? I think I was in my 20s. I don't remember. Early 20s probably. It might have been my friend Greg. I'm not really sure who it was. But he's like, dude, that's horrible advice. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, dude, she's literally telling you to fucking look for the good in Charles Manson and Adolf Hitler. That's like your childhood idols that she set up for you. And that really got me thinking. So when I started to wake up, I one day just caught my mom saying that. And I brought a friend over, and she did it with another one and another one. And I remember, like, what is her deal? At dawn, I'm like, she's been doing this since I was a little child. I know what it is. I was in therapy, and I was talking to a therapist or some kind of healer of some work, and she goes, oh, I think that's what it was. She's like, oh no, that's not good advice at all. She goes, you need to see both the good and the bad in people. And I remember when she said that, it offended me. I go, well, why would you do that? She goes, so you can protect yourself. Now, here's the deal. What she was doing was really, really bad. It was, number one, it's very hypnotic. Because even when I bring it, like, okay, my ex-girlfriend, I brought it back a couple times, and my mom would say that again and again and again. And the third or fourth time, when we left, she goes, why does your mother keep telling me that? I'm like, I don't know. Here's what she's doing. She was the monster. And she was putting this belief into your system to where when you look at her, no matter what she does, you're only going to look for the good in her. Because she would lean forward, go eye to eye, and just like literally her voice would shift. Now it's called an embedded command. And it was very hypnotic. And when someone repeats something over and over, that's another hypnotic technique. So this was one way that a lot of people thought my mother was a good person, because it really sounds like, wow, what a compassionate and understanding and forgiving person. I mean, to sit there and say that there's good in everyone, including Charles Manson and Adolf Hitler. It's like, wait, whoa, hold on a second here. I had a friend from my childhood when I was 6 years old when my mother burned my hand on the stove. Now, they used to live about 4 or 5 houses around the corner from us. And everyone knew, and he actually brought it up. So he contacted me about 4 years ago or 5 years ago, and he brought it up out of the clear blue sky. Do you remember that? That was so funny. Everyone knew. We all laughed. And he goes, today when we get together, we still laugh about it. And I'm like, what? This is the man who was about 51 years old, and he had 2 children that were about that age, 5.5 and I think 7. You would think a grown man would think that that's funny, burning a child's hand on the stove on high? What? It's because he went through the hypnosis of, you've always got to see the good in people. You've always got. So in his mind's eye, this woman, my mother, was a saint. I literally had to say to him, what if we took your children's hands right now and burned them on the stove on high? How would you feel about that? And he just got, oh, that'd be like, that's horrible. Like, why would you say something? I go, that's what my mom did to me. That's what it took for him to snap out of his hypnosis. He went, oh God, I never thought of it like that. What I'm saying is, that's how powerful narcissists can be. This is what they focus on their whole life. They are the master manipulators. But not if you listen to yourself. When you get that funny gut feeling something doesn't feel right, walk away. Pay attention to it. And you get better and better at paying attention and listening to your gut instinct. You feel something that doesn't feel right, you walk away. Later on down the road, the memories, the things they said, the way they said it will pop up in your head. Like, oh, that's right, they did say that. So you will get better at listening to your intuition. So things are getting better. Alright, so this is a two-part video. The next part is going to have a more important lesson, and I'll go a little bit more in depth. Hey, this is Mike Colleen at MikeColleen.com. Go ahead and click subscribe, click the like button if you want, go ahead and make a comment. And remember, you can always make a donation. In the description box there's a PayPal link. Thank you guys, I'll see you in the next video.